So the Senate may be going nuclear, a term lawmakers use for flexing their majority muscle, as the GOP plans to impose rule changes in an effort to speed up President Trump's confirmations.
And this comes after Democrats tried to drag their feet on Trump's nominees before Congress and before they headed into recess.
Republican South Carolina Senator and Chairman of the Senate Banking Committee, Tim Scott, joining us now. Senator, thank you for taking time. Let's dive into this nuclear option and what's going to happen. And it's worth noting, last time I checked, not one single civilian nominee has gotten a voice vote confirmation, which is unprecedented in the Senate.
Listen, that's a really important point. I'm glad you made that. Think back to the Clinton years where 98% of those civilians got their nominee by unanimous consent or a voice vote. Even during the Obama years, 90% unanimous consent, voice vote. The first Trump term, 65% unanimous consent or a voice vote. Now, the Trump derangement syndrome, it is real, 0%. That means that by the end of 4 years, more than 500 nominees will never have seen a uniform. They would not be on the playing field for the American people. That is just wrong. We have to change the rules.
Senator, really quick, because this is so important. The Democrats are actually holding you guys hostage. They're basically saying, give us money or you're not going to get your nominees through this system. I mean, this is just insanity. I mean, and it's not small changes. $5 billion for NIH, $50 million for AIDS overseas, $142 million. I mean, what's going on here?
Well, Rachel, they are not aware that we're $37 trillion in debt, and Biden tried to spend his way into a re-election, and he got beat like a drum. So the truth of the matter is that they are tone deaf to the realities of America, and the truth is Americans want to keep their money in their pockets and make their decisions. Thank God for President Trump. God bless 4 years of sanity in this country.
So, Senator, you're out with a new book, One Nation, Always Under God. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I wrote the book, One Nation, Always Under God, available right now at Amazon.com or wherever books are sold, because the gospel of Jesus Christ changed my life. I found 20 amazing people where the gospel changed their lives, and as a result, changed the course of American history. God has done it once. Jesus, he can do it again. The brightest future we have, being the city on the hill, comes from our Judeo-Christian foundation. I wanted us to celebrate amazing people doing remarkable things that's changing the course of history.
And Senator, just in the last 30 seconds or so we've got, you talk about Dorothea Dix. You highlight these profiles in courage and faith, and that one really stood out to you. Why?
Well, Dorothea Dix, she challenged the mental health way we treat people today during her time with mental health illness. Today, we have 100,000 Americans who've lost their lives because of drug overdoses or fentanyl. We need champions to stand up again. She's a great model. Think about Jim Lovell, astronaut, Apollo 13 astronaut who died just yesterday. His remarkable story of saving the lives of the astronauts who were with him 200,000 miles away from Earth. Remarkable stories, ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things, changing healthcare, the military, and space. Read the book, One Nation, Always Under God.
Senator, it's a great book and also a great reminder that the responsibilities that come with our freedom and our democracy in this republic depend on good, moral people. We're a Christian nation for a reason.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Senator. Really appreciate you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.